flat cap here, just doodling and having a quick draw. I use it to help my memory and get my arms moving in the morning because they're a bit buckled up a bit at times. So I start by just throwing some shapes around, not really thinking about what I want to do, particularly set in stone. I just want to get something down. I'm sort of thinking this would be a little character. If it turns out all right, that I may redraw at a later date and add it to my mug templates when I'm really happy with it. Now, I'm not trying to make a particularly work of art, piece of artwork. I just want to practice going through the process to try to remember what I do, sort of increase my memory as much as I can. Now, them boots aren't all that either, come to think of it. I may draw this 2 or 3 times as I go along on different layers. I am using Sketchbook Pro 6 because I find that easier for me to remember where everything is, because all the tools, majority of the tools are showing on the operating system in the program, whereas other programs I tend to have to start looking around it, going through edits, all the other sort of folders that you get with these programs, and I very soon end up into a right pickle. Now, with Sketchbook Pro, the bottom part, which is grey at the moment, that sort of works on the opacity. I can't remember. If you pull your mouse down, it lowers or highs the opacity. The other one is for the colours, lighting it up and everything. It is quite a good program. There's a couple of faults, but I think the next one is even better. This one that has been released, I think, this year or beginning of next year. Sketchbook Pro 215, I believe, 2015. That will have a lot more tools in it, I believe, from the videos I've seen of it in action. Like I think I've said before on other videos, I wish if my memory was better, I would use Mango. That is an absolute fantastic drawing program. Never been great with Photoshop. I get into a right state with that. Within a few moments I'm losing what I'm doing all over, because I can't remember where everything is. But these are some of the things that I have to face, and this is just one of the ways I sort of go about trying to constantly remember. It's a lot more interesting than bloody being dragged around and pulled about by Swedish masseurs, because they always sound better. They're usually battle axes and they're totally into all the pain, so it helps keep my arm moving, because when I am spending too much time walking somewhere on my stick, it buckles all the muscles up in my arm, and then that literally sometimes it feels like it's seizing up. So this is one way I practice to strengthen my arms and get everything moving fluidly. Now, sort of here I have decided to sort of make him like a little man putting a nail in the wall and whistling while he's doing it. But loo break there, and this may be changed as I go along. I often do. I make a lot of mistakes and just keep going until I get it all done. Now I'm using the pencil in this program, which is really good. I mean, a lot of digital software programs, the tools are not really what you sort of think, but the pencil in this Sketchbook Pro is really good. It does give you good lines and not the greatest blackness of your line, but I found that if I draw over it, each line I go over it like pigeon steps over it, I tend to get it not looking quite dark. I think I'm getting into a pickle already. I'm lowering opacity and probably on the wrong layer. But how I work is I do a doodle and then I will make another layer, and then I will try to improve the drawing and go over it all again. If it's better the second time, I will delete the first layer and then try to improve that layer that I am happy with. But often I will go to 2 or 3 layers. That is the beauty of digital drawing. No trees are being harmed in this, you know. It is, well, it's just easier. Undo is my best friend, as you probably gather as I draw. God, my voice is getting bad today. I can hear it sort of lisping. I haven't noticed that before of late, so that is something I'm probably trying to do too many things at once, and I'm not concentrating enough on forming the words correctly. Still, never mind. Worst things happen at sea. I think this little man that I'm doing here, I will try to get him painted in, coloured in as well. God, I hate it talking these days because nothing seems to come out as fast as it used to before. You know, I think it's such a struggle to get it out of my head these days. It is like there's snow on top, but the heating's still on inside. It's a bugger to get your ideas out, what you want to say at times, but it could have been worse. I think I drive my wife potty as well. I think she wants to throttle me by the end of the day, especially if I get into a pickle over something. I can't seem to keep that many balls up in the air at one time. Still, up on the top you will notice there's symbols for enlarging your I've forgotten what they've called, so yes, if you look at this on full screen you will probably be able to see what I do. You probably don't actually need me talking. It is more for my benefit to sort of make myself feel more confident when I'm out and I meet people. I don't like really talking, so which seems strange. I am talking on this video, but because I can't see anyone, so I don't see how they are reacting to my voice, I don't really care. It don't seem to be a problem. But when you're out and you have to start talking to someone and you know what you want to say but you can't get it out, feel like a right idiot, so you tend to withdraw into yourself and not want to speak to people. But I hope that if I keep doing this with my little voiceovers, hopefully one day I will be able to do the voiceover at the same time as remember what I am doing, drawing. But I think that might be a while down the road a bit yet. Right, I've just had a few minutes rest so I could get the strength back in my voice as I spoke. So I am getting to the point where I'm fairly happy with this. As I have said probably in the beginning, but I will say it again in case I haven't. I'm not trying to draw anything particularly brilliant piece of artwork. It is just to be able to go through the process, remembering everything and where the tools are, and basically I'm trying to do 3 or 4 or 5 even different things all at once, just so that I can build up and get better back to normal a bit quicker. Now them things are called pucks that I am enlarging and reducing. That is what I was trying to think of earlier on. I've got there in the end. So I've made myself another layer. I've lost interest in doing the hitting a nail and all the rest of it. I was going to make it bigger, but I feel I will start trying to get a bit of colour into it now. Now the airbrush on there is really good, and so is also the watercolour brush as well. You know, it is not as good as mangas, but it is certainly adequate, and you've certain a lot of people to get to some fantastic tutorials with this program. You know, it is well worth searching them out on YouTube to find them. So I think I've just got into another pickle there, if I remember rightly, with my colours. I was forgetting to put my colour layer below the layer for line work. So I'm also being a bit lazy, and I'm using the bucket fill. I'm not really a great fan of using bucket fills, but I do prefer to try to keep it as like it used to be when you used to draw and paint on paper. So I don't use the bucket fill a great deal, but I will use it on this little man. So I will get my main colours in, and then I will add a bit of shade in areas, and watching me try to put my darker shades in. It is more like a semi-trained chimp, to be honest. I know a lot of things, but about the colouring, because I've been doing it and learning from videos a long time, but I can only remember parts of how the process. So although I will add shades, they're not the greatest. You know, I should be lowering the opacity and blending them better together, but that is something again further down the road. Hopefully I will get back to being able to do that. I also try to keep all my colours on separate layers, not because there are ways of doing it in other ways. It is just that if I have every colour on a different layer, it is easier for me to remember where I am when I'm doing things. Now, that was the web brush I'm choosing there. This program is not full of blenders like Painter is, but so you sort of have to work things out for yourself with all the different tools. What you can do, I tend to put my shades in, my darker level colours in, and then I will use a web brush to sort of blend it out, blur it out a bit better, but it does not do a bad old job of it. Still, that my web designer, that sounds poncy, doesn't it? The web designer who built my last website for my shop, he's rebuilding a new shop for me at the moment. I'm sort of really excited about it. It is going to be for my personalised printing, and it will have a module locked onto it that allows people to just design their own mugs, and I just, when it comes through offline, comes through on the order, and then I will get the version to print it out at this end and put it onto a mug or a mouse mat or something. So quite looking forward to that being finished. You know, he's very, very good at what he does. I would offer to help him on doing some of the things, but I'll probably make his job even harder. Him trying to constantly have to keep telling me how to do things, so probably best not to get involved. Now, you will notice on here, especially if you're on full screen, I would imagine, there seems to always be a bit of a white halo when you use the bucket film. You've got to be quite careful to make sure that you cover it with your brush or whatever, because it does sort of distract your eye from the picture. You know, you just go straight to this little halo. I can't even remember if that is the correct name for it, but anyone that has used this program will know what I am probably talking about. I find that just enlarge the pictures and just go around and just constantly edit it at the last moment so that you've got everything filled in, coloured correctly. With what I do, it is not so important because the the image is reduced to go onto mugs or other iPhones, so that in the subtly process of printing, it tends to draw the picture, tighten the picture up, and it seems to lose that white halo and does not show once it's printed out onto a mug or whatever. But I really do need to sort of keep that in mind, because otherwise I will start getting into bad habits, taking shortcuts on things. Still, I think this film has actually took me about 25 minutes to draw from start to finish, and like I say, it is not going to win the Turner Prize for me, but it has made me do a lot of things that in a group of sort of things, to do a group of things where I've got to keep concentrating really hard. So it has helped me a lot with my health, if not put you off of art for the rest of your life. But there are other tutorials that you could probably find out a lot more than watching mine. These are just me filling, well, just filling in time if I kick the bucket, I suppose, really. Still, I hope you enjoy this video. I also do the same sort of thing on my printing channel as well. I record a lot of the things that I print. That is quite amusing. Oh, you can normally, they will hear me yelling out when I burn myself on bloody hot presses, but that's just one of the things. Another thing, well, it seems to be a big list of things that I just have to sort of get on with. But I think might not be the greatest video you've ever seen, but it is certainly helping me to get my health back to how I would have liked it, or at least a lot. Or, oh God, I wish I could sort of explain what I feel. It is better than being dead, but I wish I could speak faster like I used to. My voice and speech I used to be like very southern Londonish sounding and speak really fast. I would go off like a machine gun. Now you lose the will to live if you get lumbered talking to me. So I think the next one I will do, I think I'll draw a cartoon animal, I think, for my next video. I am coming very close now to flattening all this and saving it. So I'll flatten all my layers and then save it. And it may not even go any further, it might even get dropped straight into the wheelie, into the, what is it called, recycle bin. I may put it straight into the recycle bin. It has done what it was meant to do, which was to get me arm moving, me thought process going, and hopefully try to improve my speech at the same time. As the title says, a lazy man's idea of physio. It is better than bloody being yanked about and having me leg or my arm manipulated by some old boiler with a bad attitude. I hope you have, reluctant to say enjoy it, not a lot to, well, I hope you enjoy it. I've enjoyed making it and getting a little bit further back up to where I want to be. Now, I can't think of anything else to say, and my voice is, I'm struggling to get my voice out. So thanks for watching. I've finished my drawing, so now I will toddle off and sit in a corner and dribble, or whatever it is people expect people that are ill to do. Bugger that, I suppose. There'd be bugger all on the telly, it's always repeat, so I might as well start drawing something else, I feel. This digital drawing is great fun because it's so instant, you know, you get a new page, just delete, undo it, start new and start all over again. It's a way to fill my days. Thank you again.